Level 1, the field analyst, the witness. The humidity in the basement archive is 92%. The light bulb above your desk flickers exactly every 4 seconds, a rhythmic reminder that you are at the bottom of the world. You are 24 years old. Your suit is a cheap polyester blend that itches in the heat. And your badge, Global Human Trafficking Task Force Junior Grade, feels like a lead weight in your pocket. Your job isn't to save people. Your job is to count them. You spend 14 hours a day staring at grainy CCTV feeds from shipping ports in Manila, Odessa, and Veracruz. You're looking for anomalies, a container that breathes, a truck that sits too low on its axles, a manifest that lists textiles but originated from a ghost factory in a war zone. You find your first one at 3:14 a.m. on a Tuesday. It's a blue ISO container in a Rotterdam terminal. The thermal signature shows 24 distinct heat blooms, small ones, children. You pick up the phone to alert the port authority, but your hand stops. You remember the briefing from Level 2. You don't interrupt the flow. If you raid that container now, you catch a driver who knows nothing and a dock worker who will be replaced by dawn. Watch and record. Your supervisor's voice echoes in your head. You watch for 6 hours as the container is loaded onto a rail car. You track it across 3 borders. You watch the heat blooms grow faint as the temperature drops in the mountain passes. By the time the container reaches its destination, 2 of the heat blooms have vanished. You log the loss as a statistical deviation. You feel a cold knot form in your stomach, but you wash it down with lukewarm coffee. You realize that to survive here, you have to stop seeing faces and start seeing data. You learn the first rule of the GHTTF. The mission is bigger than the victim. You submit your report. It's perfect. It's cold. It's exactly what they wanted. 2 days later, a black envelope is waiting on your keyboard. You've been cleared for the field. You aren't a counter anymore. You're a ghost. Level 2, Surveillance Operative, the Ghost. You live in a 2012 Mercedes Sprinter van parked 300 yards from a massage parlor in a suburb of Zurich. The interior smells of stale sweat, ozone from the servers, and the metallic tang of canned oxygen. You haven't showered in 4 days. Your eyes are perpetually bloodshot, locked onto a bank of 6 monitors. You are no longer counting containers. You are identifying assets. You watch the local chief of police walk into the parlor at 11 p.m. every Thursday. He stays for exactly 45 minutes. He doesn't pay. You record the timestamp. You watch a senator's aide hand a briefcase to a man in a tracksuit. You record the serial numbers on the aide's license plate. You realize the task force isn't just about stopping traffickers, it's about collecting leverage. The girl you've nicknamed Blue because of the ribbon in her hair looks directly into your hidden camera during a linen delivery. She's 16, maybe 17. She looks like she's screaming with her eyes. You have the tactical capability to breach the back door in 12 seconds. You have a suppressed MP5 under your seat and a flashbang in your glove box, but you sit still. If you move, you blow a 6-month operation into the sovereign network. Your earpiece crackles. It's your handler, Level 5. Stay dark, Ghost. We need the senator, not the girl. You watch Blue get pushed back into the shadows. You feel your empathy eroding like a shoreline in a hurricane. You rationalize it. If you take the senator down, you save 1,000 girls like Blue. But as the weeks pass, you realize the senator isn't the target. He's the client. And the task force wants to know exactly what he likes so they can own him. You don't sleep anymore. You just close your eyes and see Blue's face in the static of the monitors. When the sovereign file is closed, the senator is promoted, and Blue vanishes from the surveillance logs. You get a commendation and a 40% salary bump. You buy a watch that costs more than your father made in a year. You don't look at Blue's ribbon in the evidence locker before they incinerate it. Level 3, Lead Interrogator, the Hammer. The room is a concrete box in a black site outside Prague. There are no windows, no clocks, and no mercy. The man strapped to the chair is named Merrick. He's a middle manager for a Balkan syndicate. He's responsible for moving units across the Adriatic. You are the Hammer. You don't use electricity or pliers. Those are for amateurs. You use time and biology. You keep the room at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. You play white noise at 90 decibels for 20 hours, then silence for 10 minutes. You feed him nothing but high-protein mush and water laced with mild hallucinogens. When you finally speak, your voice is the only thing in his universe. Merrick, you whisper, leaning close enough to smell his fear. The syndicate already thinks you talked. They've already moved your family to a safe house in Varna. You know what that means. It's a lie. His family is in a refugee camp in Greece, but Marek doesn't know that. You show him a faked photo of a burning house. You watch him break. It's not like in the movies. There's no dramatic confession. It's a wet, pathetic sob and a string of names. You get the names of 3 shipping moguls and a deputy prime minister. As you walk out of the room, your assistant asks what to do with Marek. You know that if you let him go, he's a dead man. If you keep him, he's a liability. Process him, you say. Process is task force slang for disappear. You don't ask for details. You go to a high-end steakhouse and eat a $200 ribeye, rare. You notice that the blood on the plate doesn't bother you. Nothing bothers you anymore. You've learned that the truth is just a commodity, and you are the master of the market. Level 4, Strike Team Commander, the Scalpel. You are standing in the door of a C-130 Hercules, 10,000 feet above the Libyan coast. The air is freezing, screaming past your helmet. Below you is a compound owned by a facilitator who has stopped paying his taxes to the task force. You aren't a ghost or a hammer anymore. You are a scalpel. Green light. You bark into the comms. You drop into the blackness. The halo jump is a controlled fall into the heart of the machine. You hit the ground, disconnect your chute, and signal your team. You move like a single organism. The breach is silent. Suppressed shots, rhythmic and surgical. 2 in the chest, 1 in the head. You move through the compound with a terrifying efficiency. You find the facilitator in his panic room. He tries to offer you $2 million in Bitcoin. You don't even blink. You take the hardware wallet, then you put a bullet in his forehead. The units. In the basement, 42 men from sub-Saharan Africa look at you like you're an angel. They think you're their savior. You tell them to get into the trucks. You tell them they're going to a processing center. In reality, they're going to a labor colony owned by a task force subsidiary in the Gulf. You get a $50,000 bonus for every secured unit delivered. Level 5, Regional Bureau Chief, the Gatekeeper. Your office overlooks the Ginza district in Tokyo. The walls are soundproofed glass, and the floor is polished obsidian. You no longer wear a tactical vest. You wear bespoke Italian silk. Your currency is no longer bullets or names. It is access. You are the gatekeeper for the Pacific Rim. Every major shipping line, every regional airline, and every border patrol commander in 5 countries answers to you. They don't know the name of the task force, but they know your face. A representative from a global tech giant sits across from you. They need 5,000 workers for a new assembly plant in a special economic zone. They don't want to deal with unions, minimum wages, or human rights observers. They need flexible human resources. The logistics are complicated, you say, sipping a 30-year-old Hibiki. The paperwork alone. The representative slides a folder across the table. It contains the deed to a villa in Lake Como and a shell company with an 8-figure balance. I think we can find a way to streamline the process. You smile. You realize that you are now part of the global economy. You are the invisible hand that keeps the world's miracle growth alive. Without you, the phones in everyone's pockets would cost $5,000. Without you, the fast fashion industry would collapse. You are the secret engine of civilization. You spend your weekends at gala dinners with the people you used to surveil. You realize they aren't your enemies. They are your peers. You feel a sense of belonging that you never had as a field analyst. You are part of the elite. You are the one who decides which borders are hard and which are porous. You have the power to destroy lives with a single signature, and you find that the power feels better than sex. Somewhere across the city, a new recruit is shaking someone's hand for the first time. He thinks he understands the rules. He doesn't. He thinks he is joining the side of the angels, counting heat blooms in a basement he can't wait to leave. He doesn't know that he is just the next component in the machine you now control. He thinks he's a hero. He isn't. But he will learn, just like you did.